And we are back. Segment number 2 of the optical hi-hat controller. In segment number 1, we demonstrated the functionality of the mechanical portion, and that included this white sleeve, and it also had the spring assembly and that blue sleeve with the flag. Well, now we have the electronics installed onto the outer perimeter of the white outer sleeve, and here we've, instead of using a circuit board, actually mounted the components to a layer of white paper that allowed me to slide the component assembly up and down on the sleeve, and then once I was satisfied with its position, then glued it to the sleeve. That was followed up with a coating of epoxy, and that epoxy is reinforcing the structure and giving some shock isolation protection to these components. So there you see the components after they've been glued and soldered to the outer sleeve. I will take that, drop that on there, just like before. I'll put the rubber foam cushion, the washer, and the spring, all that holds that into place there. Then we have the flag that's going to interrupt the light beam that will drop in place there. The hi-hat clutch assembly with the upper hi-hat cymbal. Now in your application, of course, you'll have a real cymbal, you'll have all this stuff inside of your hi-hat, and these wires would have to be put through a hole in the hi-hat. I am using a battery, an Everready 6-volt lantern battery, and I've got an oscilloscope set up to monitor the operation. And if I position this just right, we'll be able to see both the oscilloscope move and this. The yellow lead from the battery is the negative. That is going to be connected to the sleeve. So there's our ground coming from our controller effectively. And I have the positive lead coming from the battery, which will be my red lead. That is going to the goes over to the ring, and then the output is on the tip of the circuit. I'll connect the oscilloscope to tip, and get that connected. Okay, and then the ground of the oscilloscope will connect to the battery ground as well, which is negative. And you see the oscilloscope immediately jump to 5 volts output. As I step down, the oscilloscope follows the action of the hi-hat. That is the voltage varying on the output. I can move up and down quickly, or I can modulate it slowly with my foot. Maximum there. Anything above that, you notice this initial action until I start breaking the beam is not used for anything. As I go down further to 0, if I go further, nothing. So I have a range of 0 to maximum with the operation of the hi-hat pedal. And that brings a conclusion to the demonstration of the functionality of this optical hi-hat controller. It is the circuitry from Dimitri, and it does work with the Mega Drum and any other component that would need a varying voltage output to control the hi-hat. I appreciate you watching. That concludes this segment.